All right, let's see. Looks like we got ourselves a clown, y'all.
The earth.
Looks like we got ourselves a clown. Yo,
who this?
man, what it do, man?
Yo, what's good, my boy?
Man, what you over here talk about, man? What you talk about, dog?
What I'm talking? Well, you heard me when I said, why would I debate a man worshiper?
No, I actually just got in, so I heard something about man worshiper. I didn't hear the part before that.
Oh yeah. I said, why would I debate a man worshiper? Like you down here, we worship the heavens, the God of the heavens and the earth. The man worshiper is way down here, like.
But you worship a man, though. I'm confused.
How you telling me what I worship? That don't make no sense.
You're a Muslim, right?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. We worship the God of the heavens and the earth.
No, you don't. You worship a man who claims to be the God of the heavens and the earth.
Nah, that's not what Muslims believe. You got your information incorrect. I ain't gonna lie.
I know it's not what you believe. The point is that that's what your Quran teaches. Like for example, you would agree that a man needs a wife in order to have a kid, right? In order to have a son.
Nobody who ever read Islam, like you could try to reason it with however you want, however way you want, but no person who read the Quran and no Muslim know that Muslims don't worship a man. Like this is common knowledge.
Okay, so let me ask you: would you agree that that men need a mate in order to have a son? That men need a mate in order to have a son? Yeah, that's what people need. Hell yeah. Yeah, well, the Quran says that same thing about Allah. It says Allah needs a mate in order to have a son.
Anything needs an equal to have a child.
Yeah, it sounds like a man to me. Sounds like just like a man. That's a man. God doesn't need no equal in order to have a son. He could just have a son of his own substance. But Allah needs a man just like Allah needs a mate just like any man does.
Well, that will go against any human understanding. Like, bro, like if your God wants to go against it wants to make a creation that doesn't have the intellect to understand his nature, then what you're saying is correct. But our God reasons the way we reason. And and that is that if he doesn't have a co-equal, how is he gonna if he doesn't have a mate, how is he gonna have a child?
I don't mean to cut you, man, but I don't want you to get banned on TikTok either. You sure TikTok won't get you for this?
Don't worry about that.
Okay, yeah. I want this to last long, man.
I mean, don't worry about it. I mean,
okay, all right. Well, so just like any man needs a mate or needs an equal of his own kind in order to have a son, then that's Allah. Allah also needs exactly what man needs in order to have a son. So you worship a man, but you're accusing others of being man worshipers. You're no different than what you're accusing other people of being. It's probably worse actually because you don't even know it.
Now, what you're saying is not following at all. But if somebody say, "How can they have a son?" The thing is for you to answer the question. Like when Allah poses a question, the disbelievers they don't answer the question.
He already does.
He's asking a logical question. How is he gonna have a son if he does not have a mate?
Sure,
that's answering you.
I can answer that. Yeah, I can answer that. But notice what I'll give you the answer, and then I'll show you.
Don't you deny it?
I'll show you what Allah does.
Right now.
And I'll give you the answer. God can have a son from his own substance. He can beget a son from his own substance without any help, without the need of a mate. He can beget from his own substance. He doesn't need help because he's God. He's all powerful. But Allah, he's not actually challenging you to answer the question. He's actually refuting the logic of the humans who are saying that he has children. He's saying, how can I have a son when I don't have a mate? So Allah himself is making it clear that he cannot have a son without a mate, just like how humans can't have children without mates. He's just like us.
We're gonna answer your we're gonna go back to your answer that you said. You said he can have a child from his own substance. This is you putting together words, but from his substance, what persists of his substance, right? What is his substance?
Eternality, all powerfulness, knowledge.
Okay, boom.
All of that.
Boom.
All of this stuff.
Boom. All right.
He can have a son from his own substance, but Allah can't. He's just like
boom, boom, boom. All right, you answered my question already. Being eternal, being all powerful. You said these two. Now, does the son take on a trait, like an offspring? Do they take on traits of this stuff?
Of course.
Okay, that's impossible. You can't have a son. You someone can also have a trait of eternity. Now that's two eternities. That's impossible.
No, it's one eternity, just two distinct persons who share that same eternity. That's all.
But if he begot, then he had a son. He begot him. So it's not just two eternities.
It would have to be.
It was one eternity, and then he begot, right?
It would be.
And then he had a son.
It would be something.
So now there's two eternities.
It would be something done not in time. God can beget outside of time, which would mean it's an eternal action that happens, not something that takes place in time. What? There we go with logic. There we go with logic.
You saying, okay, now you have a son outside of time. Now, so mind you, we still answering the same question.
So then you have to, brother, you have to deal with then, if you're going to reject that and say, nuh-uh, that's fine. You can hold your position. Then you have to answer for Allah being incapable of having a son without a mate, just like men do. You're saying that you're going against man worshipers, but everything in the Quran is showing me that Allah's a man like us.
Well, you already, first of all, there's a man. When you say a man worshiper, we mean you're trying to like put together this thing of how, but a man is somebody who is not God, correct? He does not have God qualities, correct?
A mere man.
He does not have the God substance, correct?
A mere man, sure.
All right. So what you would be doing is what your job is supposed to be is to prove that Allah doesn't have the God substance.
He doesn't. I just showed you.
For the fact we already know. Okay, you saying what doesn't he have of the God substance? You mentioned you mentioned two things.
That one right there.
Let me just. You mentioned two things that's part of the God substance. All powerful and eternity. We already know Allah has these things. So
no, he doesn't. Okay,
he doesn't.
All right, so let's talk about it.
I prove that. Allah says.
What does it mean to be all powerful?
It means that you're over all things capable. You're capable to do whatever anything can do. You're more capable of doing.
Absolutely, and you don't need any help. You're not dependent on anything to do anything that you want to do. Right?
That's would be self-sustaining. Right,
which would mean all powerful. In order to be all powerful, you have to be self-sustaining, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be.
So to be all powerful means that you are capable of doing all things. Nothing is too hard for you, and you don't need help doing it. Okay. Now here's part two. Allah doesn't fit that category because Allah cannot have a son by himself. Allah would need help in order to have a son. So therefore, he does not have the quality of all powerfulness. He's not all powerful.
Having a son is not a powerful thing. This is not something, begetting children, this doesn't go into power. This goes into an act that's given to mankind, that's given to creation. Power is things that's powerful, right? It's things like creating. He created the heavens and the earth. He created all creation, everything that exists. This is power. Now, if you can say he didn't do this, this is okay. He's lacking in power. But you saying, oh, he didn't pick up a stick or he didn't have a son. This is not a powerful thing.
That's not what I'm saying.
It's not an example of power.
Cora, that's not what I'm saying. Listen to my argument, okay? My argument is not that, he has to have a son in order to be powerful. My argument is that he couldn't have a son by himself, even if he wanted to. He would need help. So if you need help to do something, if you depend on something outside of yourself for something, then you're not all powerful. You're not self-sustaining.
You're misrepresenting the Quran and what Allah is saying.
Okay, can Allah have a son by himself, Cora?
You're saying he needs help to have a son. The point is, there's no point of having a son. Right?
That's not the point at all, bro. The point is, can he do it? Can he do it by himself? Could he do it?
If he could, he would have chosen from one of his creations.
That's fine.
And he didn't even do that.
But could he do it? Could he do it by himself?
You're saying have offspring. You cannot have offspring without a mate.
Okay, so Allah.
That's what offspring is. Offspring is a child.
It's something of yourself. So Allah cannot have a son.
No, that's not what offspring is.
Hold on. Allah cannot have a son without help. In order for him to have a son, he would need help, something outside of himself, in order to help him to have a son. Therefore, he's dependent and not all powerful. He's a limited being. So he's not God. He does not have the God substance.
Bro, yes. Well, he does. You're not. So what doesn't he have of the God substance? Because you believe Jesus. You believe in Jesus. So it can't possibly be anything that Jesus has, right? Like being a human being and dying, right? So you saying these things that you actually believe in yourself, and it's not following. You believe Jesus died and that he's God. How is he all powerful if he died?
You know
right?
what?
And that people assassinated him. And I'm not trying to switch the subject.
Yes, you are.
I'm not trying to switch the subject. Is that you're bringing up something that you believe. No. It's just that you're believing. You're bringing up something that you believe in yourself, right? And it's not we don't believe that he lacks any of these substances.
Okay, so how about this? How about we table this and let's talk about something else. You down to talk about Paul versus Muhammad?
Nope.
Oh. You do agree?
Now,
that
I mean, we could. I mean, no, you yourself know that Paul was a annihilator, a Christian annihilator. I don't even know.
Yeah,
this isn't even an argument.
Then he changed his ways.
You do know he was annihilating Christians, right?
Yeah, he was, and he changed his ways.
He never had to change his.
Yeah, but Muhammad was a Jew.
Ways.
He was a Jew and Christian annihilator, wasn't he?
All right, get over my pen.
What?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna bring somebody. You want to talk to somebody else? Or what?
Sure, I guess. Wait, wait, just really quick, right. Cora, what I said offensive?
Is you just uttering things out your mouth that if people say you running. If you're just uttering, I could say Jesus was a Muslim, right? You wouldn't even take that, right? And then, so
I'll take that. You want to talk about that?
Or Jesus was a white man, or he was a Caucasian, or that he was the first human being. I would just be uttering garbage out of my mouth.
Yeah, but I didn't I didn't utter garbage by saying that Muhammad annihilated Jews and attempted to annihilate Christians. Like that's literal in your history.
You said it sounded like you said he was a Jew.
No, I said he annihilated Jews. He had two tribes of Jews annihilated, bro.
In the cause of Allah, and I will believe is it in the cause of Allah?
You see, notice how you have a justification for what Muhammad is doing, but notice I can say listen. I'm just hear me out.
The problem that's not the case with Paul.
I know, but Cora,
Paul wasn't doing it in the cause of God.
Hear me out, and neither was Muhammad. However, here's the thing: I can say, Cora, listen to what I'm saying. I can say that Paul was wrong for killing Christians and imprisoning Christians. Can you say that Muhammad was wrong for killing Jews and going out to attack Christians?
So you can say that because it's your belief, right?
That it's actually wrong.
So, it's in your belief that is wrong.
Is it in your belief that is wrong?
Hold on, bro.
Okay.
Before his conversion, he was doing this. So he wasn't known as an upright person. He wasn't known as a trustworthy, righteous person.
Yeah, he was.
That's the problem. And so when he converts and then self-appoints himself as an apostle, automatically know, okay, yeah, I've seen Jesus. This is a problem. While before Prophet Muhammad became a prophet, in his community, he was known as being righteous. And you saying, yeah, he was, but you just said what he was doing was wrong. The Prophet Muhammad, he was known as being righteous and trustworthy, never lying, and having upright character. Everybody trusted him. So when the message came, people believed him. So when people believe Paul, I have no idea why people would believe it.
I got you. So saying that you don't know why people would believe. Hold on, dude. You saying that you don't know why people would believe him? That's tough. I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Muhammad receives a revelation. Paul receives a revelation. Right? Both men claim to receive revelation. Let's look at these two together. Let's see which one is more credible. Were there any witnesses to Muhammad's revelation in the cave?
Not in the cave, but the revelation came throughout a period of many years.
So he says. So
yeah, that's what we believe. I mean,
I know it's what you believe, but I'm critiquing your belief. I'm critiquing your sources. So both have claims. You gotta let me land. I don't have to. Your belief is not in reality. That's the point. That's why I'm debating you.
Well, that's what we both believe about each other's belief. I mean,
that's why we're talking about it. That's why we're talking about it.
You bringing up you bringing up what happened in a cave by itself when he got the revelation for 28
well,
years?
let's see.
You just being dishonest
let's see.
and not considering the whole thing.
Did Paul have? So I'm sorry. Muhammad had no witnesses to his revelation in the cave, but Paul had witnesses to his revelation. He had the soldiers that was with him. He also had Ananias, who also received a revelation that confirmed Paul's revelation that he received on the road to Damascus. Did anybody else, did anybody have a revelation that confirmed Muhammad's revelation?
No, he's the only one getting revelation. So how would anybody else get a revelation?
I got you. So
unless we're going into the prophecies.
I got you.
The Old Testament and the Injil and all of that stuff. But
so let me ask you this then, Cora. Let me ask you this, and think about this with me. What do you think is more credible? A person who doesn't have witnesses, claiming to have experienced something solely on his own, or someone who does have witnesses to what he experienced, and not just witnesses, but divine witnesses, revelation that confirms what he experienced.
Divine witnesses?
What do you think?
Well, you're oversimplifying it too much because more details have to be included.
I know. Just out of these two things, what do you think is more credible?
Yeah. I'm saying oversimplification is a form of manipulation.
That's
and you're
not an
oversimplifying. If you're being manipulative, I'm not gonna.
I haven't manipulated anything. Right? I just put two and two side by side, bro. I put Paul and manipulated
the first. The first example was manipulated because you lack the details of this. You said, is this enough evidence? If someone says he got a revelation and it's just him, the details that need to be included here is that he was, for 40 years, he was someone who had upright character and was trustworthy throughout his entire life.
So you say the same to be said about Paul too. Who cares?
But we gonna go with what we believe in, right? You don't believe that.
I don't care
so
about.
So it can't be said about him.
Cora, think about this in reality.
Bro, you act like
Cora,
right?
slow down, bro.
I'm appealing to.
Slow down. Look, just think about this for a second. Let's say I'm 31 years old. Okay, let's say all my 30 years of living, I've been known to have never lied. I've been known to be trustworthy. I've been known to do good to the poor. I've been known to be a really good person. And then I came out and said, hey, guys, God gave me a revelation. He came to me and now I am a prophet of God. Would that mean that I'm telling the truth? Does that make what I'm saying true?
Your reputation with the community that you have never did this is a proof for the community. This proof is long as time.
Is it to proof for reality?
It's not just proof. It's evidence. It's reliability.
So right? It's evidence that my experience.
Hold on. Let me talk, bro. You're not letting me talk, bro.
Go ahead. My bad.
If you go in a court, right, and there's multiple people testifying, the most reliable the testimonies are a form of proof. You understand this?
Wait, if you go to court and what happens?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Wait, I'm trying to understand you.
Let me start from the beginning. Testifiers are a form of proof.
What?
Hold on, bro.
What if there's
let me finish, bro. Let me finish.
What if there's no testifiers? Would that hurt the case?
Okay. Hold on, bro. Let me finish. So when people come up and speak, their evidence, a part of the evidence, and what makes it more reliable evidence is their reputation, whether they have a clean record, whether their people have good things to say about them, and mainly based off of their clean record. So this makes the evidence stronger, right? Beautiful. So based off of what I'm telling you, right, is his reputation was clean.
I love that.
Whatever you say, so in your example, if you was somebody who spent 30 years being known as righteous and trustworthy within the community, and you came with this message that you got. First of all, in this case, it wasn't. He didn't just go say, "I got a revelation from God." Like Paul, he didn't know at first. He said, "I had this experience," and somebody else came and said, "That's the angel," and then he got more revelation confirming that he was the angel. So if you make an analogous thing and say, "Yo, something crazy happened to me," and while I was in the cave, right? Why would we disagree with you? Why would we, after you spent 30 years being trustworthy? This is proof. This is evidence.
Okay, can I speak now? Okay, so Cora, I love your example, man. you use your example as witnesses that testify in a courtroom. Let me ask you this. You got two people who are being tried, right? The accuser and the defendant, right? If the defendant has witnesses to corroborate what he says and his character and all this kind of stuff.
Well, keep talking. I'm gonna send a quick text. You heard? Keep talking. I'm gonna hear you.
All right. If the defendant has witnesses to corroborate what he says, where he's been, his story, and so on and so forth. He has witnesses testifying to back up what he's saying. The accuser has no witnesses. It's just him saying it's just his own word of mouth. In the courtroom, which case is more credible? The defendant with witnesses or the accuser with no witnesses?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the reputation.
Now it depends.
If he brings it does, bro. Like I said, you can oversimplify stuff, but I'm gonna make it clear for the people.
You keep shuffling from your own example.
I'm not going, bro. Bro. Like I said, you can oversimplify it, but I'm going to clarify.
Just answer the question, bro.
So
in the courtroom, who is more credible, the one with witnesses or the one without? Which one?
Yeah, bro. If those witnesses are untrustworthy with a record of lying all the time, then there's a problem. Who cares? You're a liar. Nobody trusts you in the society. But if that accuser, if the accuser is known for telling the truth, right? This is going to count more. This or may not even count more, but it'll count as an equal.
Okay,
so this is
why I heard you. This is why this is bad. The reason why this is bad is because you just shifted the goalpost. At first, you said if you have witnesses that account for your testimony and your character and corroborate you, then you have a good case and you have proof. The witnesses are the proof of your character and your story. But now that I've given you your same analogy and just added, there's somebody else with no witnesses, right. You're saying, no, it depends now if the witnesses. You see how you got to do that, man? You see the games you got to play, bro? Let me clarify what I said. You got to change up your own analogy.
You got what I said wrong. I didn't say I didn't make the accuser and the witnesses analogy. That's what you came with. I said if a person testifies. So this is what this person is being held to account right now. If a person testifies to something, his character and his reputation is being accounted for. So for those testifiers, I didn't make the accuser and the thing. I didn't do all of that. So if we take one specific testifier and we look at their reputation and in their testimony, they're them who's being brought forward as evidence is not reliable and is not worth much.
Okay,
that's the point I'm saying. I did not make the accuser thing. You did that. That's not me.
I got you. So I'll ask my question again, bro. Since you ran away from your own, you just changed your own analogy.
All right, bro. I don't got.
Okay. Hopefully you answer this time. What is more credible? A lone person with no witnesses at all, or a person who has witnesses and even has a divine corroboration where somebody else also has a revelation confirming the revelation that they had? Which side is more credible?
That's the 36? Oh no, that's not. I put one of the 36s in
he's moving that. That's where 2009's going, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Probably gonna go ahead and leave him to himself.
All right.
Got a bunch of 36.
I think we done made it as far as we can with this one, guys.
At the end of the night, but right now, 3. If you got any more open doors.
3 more 36s?
3. How many do you have? Let me see.
I think I got 1 or 2. Yeah.
Can you make sure there's at least 3 in for now?
Okay, all right. All right, my fault, bro.
It's all right. So I asked, which one would be more credible? The one who has no witnesses to his revelation, or someone who does have witnesses to his revelation and has another revelation from somebody that also corroborates the revelation they had? Which side is more credible?
Yeah, like I said, bro, but I mean, if you take it at face value, it's gonna be the person who has first of all, how the hell are you getting witnesses of a revelation like? Or how you get witnesses that you've been revealed to?
So you agree that this person with the witnesses and who has even another witness who has a revelation that corroborates his revelation, that person would have more credibility than the one who has no witnesses, right?
But okay, to be a witness of something, you have to see it, right?
Brother, you're not answering my question, bro. Please.
Because your question is not making no sense. That's why.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. You were a cubit's foot away from answering the question, and then you started going off something. Come on, man.
Because as I'm speaking, I'm thinking about the question. I'm like, okay, it's like if you were witness to a dream, right? How the hell you gonna witness a dream? How the hell people gonna witness?
Could God give someone a dream that corroborates somebody else's dream?
Is that yeah, of course, but is that a witness to the dream?
Yeah, it'll be a witness to the dream. If God brings a revelation, like for example, you know Daniel, right? You know the story of Daniel?
Yeah, I disagree with what you said. Yeah, a person having the same dream as somebody else. Okay. This is not them witnessing the other person's dream. So whatever you're about to say,
I got
don't make no sense.
Okay, you know the story of Daniel, right? It looks like he probably got a call or something. Notice how hard the Muslims have to fight sense. You know, they have to struggle and try their ways to think themselves out of what is common sense. You know, I want to give them this last example, and then I'll leave them alone, guys. I'll give them this last example. Cora, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the story of Daniel?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, Daniel was a prophet of God. He was in Babylon, and he used to serve King Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar had a really terrible dream. Nobody could interpret the dream, but Daniel, he came.
Oh, yeah?
Daniel came.
I heard you.
And he told Nebuchadnezzar what his dream was and interpreted it by God's gift of revelation. Could you agree with me that Daniel is a witness to the dream Nebuchadnezzar had because God gave him revelation of his dream?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave you to yourself, man. Enjoy Islam, bro.
Copy, bro. Will do.
Absolute idiot.
Copy, bro.
Absolute idiot. Guys, Islam is a fungus. Islam is a fungus. Islam is an absolute fungus. It's a cancer. It's a cancer to sense. It's a cancer to logic. It's a cancer to morality. It is a cancer to thinking. It's a cancer to comprehension. It's a cancer and fungus to understanding. Islam is a fungus, a sickness that needs to be burned away. Y'all see this brother here? Y'all heard him? Notice this isn't because he's a human being made in the image of God, just like you and me. All of them. They're all made in the image of God, just like you and me. We're all made in the same image of God. And y'all see how deep this stuff is spiritually? Islam makes you spiritually stupid, spiritually dumb, spiritually slow. You can't accept sense in Islam. You can't accept logic in Islam. You cannot accept what is clear. You can't accept clarity in Islam. That's Islam, y'all.